Today we are back with our listen along study sessions, and in this episode I'm bringing you some contemporary drum and bass producers all across the spectrum to cover the various different aspects of the emotive side of drum and bass, which is often maybe overshadowed by the kind of more synth heavy and drop heavy types of DNB that you hear on modern cuts of drum and bass. So our first track in particular is from none other than DJ Patife, and it was a kind of standout track that came out on the Brazil EP, representing and kind of putting Brazilian drum and bass on the map. Now, sometimes Brazilian drum and bass is known as Sambass, samba and bass, drum and bossa, etc. And in particular, DJ Patife's remix of Fernanda Porto's Sambassism is kind of a really meta commentary about the whole situation, because Fernanda Porto, which we're going to take a look and listen to the original track, kind of was writing a whole song about the genre itself of drum and bossa, adding in these kind of bossa nova elements with contemporary guitar and acoustics. So let's take a listen. So I think it was 2000 to 2001, Fernanda Porto and Patife link up, and Patife rearranges Fernanda Porto's acoustics guitar and then composes then the Sambassism remix, which is sort of a 170 version of the original production. So, and keep in mind, this is probably one of the most critical tracks, in addition to maybe DJ Marky, that really brought drum and bass, Brazilian drum and bass, to the higher order perception of the world. You immediately get this evocative feeling of just Brazil. Listen to how sweet those guitars are, that those licks, everything. And Porto's voice is like, wow, so sweet, so delicious in this track. And we get this really tense part. Samba. 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 There is something so clean about the way in which Patife has done the mixing here, with the simplicity of just that kind of shaker that's acting as that quick hat in a lot of drum and bass productions. Even the way that the drum programming is done for the kick makes it kind of bouncy with how your body moves, but it's not that like super aggressive synthy style. It's a feel-good, sun-drenched feeling of Brazil packaged in a beautiful little package for you to consume and listen to and feel. Absolutely amazing subgenre of drum and bass. So I love that remix from Patife and Fernando Porto there. So the next track I'm taking a look at here is from a kind of titan of jungle drum and bass, Goldie, but not specifically his own production, but actually a remix of the well-known Calibre. I think Dominic Martin is his real name. And Dominic is kind of this really beautifully sensitive brand of drum and bass, which has this soulful, deep, rolling sensation to the production that really puts it well into this category of like liquid drum and bass, liquid funk, that kind of thing. And there's something that you just have to give such high regard and respect to Dominic with the way that he really cares about, I think, his production, and even his branding is not in your face. He's a really, just the whole perception of the construction as an artist is very humble, and it really shows in the production and care and quality of his sets as well as his productions here. So we're going to take a listen to the original track, Run 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 from Goldie. But you're going to see how almost honestly, first of all, amazing, what incredible material that you could start with to get something like this, but also the creativity involved from Dominic to be able to take this into a dance music track. It's not always super simple, but Goldie definitely gives an amazing plethora of incredible samples and interesting emotive content to use.
You run, you run, you run, you run. You run, you run, you run. Up that hill, up that hill.
Sometimes getting a non-dance music track to remix is a real gift, because it almost means that the whole structure and sensation of dance music hasn't been imposed onto the original production style, and it really gives yourself as an artist and a remixer the chance to really get creative and fun with reimagining the track. All right, so this is the original production. You can hear it's really not a dance-oriented track. So now we're going to run into Calibre's remix here. You hear those pianos, and it's just got this like sweetly sad and like a little bit pensive feeling to it, like reflective, like The Journeyman, you know, Goldie's magnum opus, and you're asked to remix this. Like, what do you even say to that? What do you do? Well, Calibre has the answer. This is not like a track that you throw carelessly around. This is one of those tracks in your library that you know the right time to play it, either at the end of a night, the start of the night, maybe somewhere in the middle where you have to break the container of energy and pulse that you've created to create this moment of just like, oh, and then really drive it.
Footprints of old, I follow, 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 follow.
The bounce of that bass is like, wow. So round, so soft.
Man, the hill made. Yeah.
And then we have this vocal, which is like, oh, it's like the range is just paints this beautiful picture with the male vocalist's voice. Once you get to a caliber of production, pun intended, the production style and the emotion and very small little details, but not obsessively so, is what demonstrates that competence. There's no need to shout that you're a competent producer. In fact, you know there's a quiet confidence. And I think, to me, Calibre and Dominic's, I guess, persona of Calibre it really imparts that from my perspective. Love it. Love it. Love that track. All right, last but not least, of course, I had to pick somebody from the Toronto drum and bass music scene, specifically LSB, also known as Luke Bevan. I hope I pronounced that right. Now, LSB is known so much within the subgenre of liquid drum and bass. He's known for this kind of really soulful, cinematic style of his productions, and it falls in that range very much where it overlaps with kind of the style, a little bit of Calibre. And you can even see this in where the vocalists and MCs, that crossover between tracks. There's such a beautiful cross-pollination between all of these different artists, and the way in which, when you gather all their tracks as a DJ, you're able to synthesize these incredible experiences of a feeling and a container of music that allows people to move through as well as just enjoy and listen to. And so in specific, we have LSB teaming up with DRS and Tyler Daley. Now, Tyler Daley's vocal range in this track is like, wow, and DRS, of course, the sort of MC based from Manchester, has the flow, has that deep British male vocal presence that brings that kind of original synthesis and origin of drum and bass back into modern time with modern productions. But for me, it's the story of Missing You that tells just this, wow, like, we don't quite know if it's related to some sort of loss of a family member or somebody from a community related to some wrongful decease, as mentioned in the track. But whoa, like, what a way to take such a heavy topic and make kind of tragedy turn into some sort of ritualistic placement and concretization of something beautiful that honors the feeling that that person left in that community as a representation of a human being, really. So let's just take a listen. You can really hear the sort of, again, kind of sad feeling to those chords, and even just these little small interspersals of like bubbles, dreaminess coming through in this piano. And the way that Luke creates the atmosphere of the track to then put those vocalists in front and center is like, wow.
Take me in your arms.
We've got Tyler's vocals now coming in.
And have me believe it's gonna last forever. All that I know, you'll live, you learn to love if you're lucky enough. And I'm thankful that you was, I'm missing you. It's another morning sun, I'm missing you.
Listen to that contrast. You know, I'm even tearing up. Listen to this. The sadness, the tragedy, but then that whole thing that Luke is creating with that instrumental, with that rolling feeling.
Didn't wanna see you go out, candle fade and go out. So much to say to you now, but the words just won't come out. The band of brothers round your bed light, nights round the table light, rabbits in headlights, trying to keep our head right. You was already on the next flight, intergalactic on the next height. But you can never measure the level of sorrow the whole city feels. We celebrate your name in every venue, our commitment yields. Your family knows our
DRS with his classic flow and just delivering these, wow, with this steadiness.
Seconds you disappear. Maybe I'm bit reckless. It still hits breathless. We still miss breakfast. Stay gang in your town. We still kill guestless. Raise your glasses as high as you can reach. For anyone who's blessed your life or wrongfully deceased.
It's the poetic lyricism of DRS delivered in this not over the top way that really hits you again with that impact. And I've talked about this in previous videos where sometimes there's a greater impact you can say with the lack of that over the top feeling, that you leave it in the interpretation between the lines, you leave it in the contrast, but the mild thing that allows the human mind to fill it in with breathtaking emotion.
Another cloudy afternoon and I'm missing you.
Listen to this violin, the way that you're evolving, you're motioning the breathing. I miss you.
And I'm thankful that you was, I'm missing you.
Listen to how the quietness speaks, dropping out all the instruments, just Tyler's voice.
Just another road to run and I'm missing you. Another cloudy afternoon and I'm missing you.
Drum and bass is the package that you would not expect a track like this to get delivered in, which is in many ways what makes this such a fascinating track. The fact that you would think, oh, drum and bass, hardcore, jungle, whatever, this is like dance music for raves, but really actually you have this extremely emotive, impactful track delivered in a dance music structure that you would overlook if you were just a casual browser of the genre. All right, love that track. All right, so for today, that's been our 3 drum and bass producers taking a look, doing a little bit of musical commentary on some of their amazing productions. And there is so much to offer in all the different core pillars of dance music. I talk a lot about this in the complete electronic music course, covering kind of some of these major pillars. But then once you understand the framework, the structure of all these different genres, you just got like an infinite level of things to dig through. When you start getting these subgenres like funk, liquid drum and bass, samba and bass, you have, more main stage drum and bass, and then you also have halftime, neurofunk, all of these different things. And as a DJ, I mean, you get such the gift to be able to go through and explore all of these different things and, figure out, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. I can organize and sequence in that way. So I think that's why studying a lot of these producers can give you a general baseline and feeling for kind of the core pillars within those particular subgenres and what that feeling means when you say something like, oh, it's liquid drum and bass, or oh, it's samba and bass. Because as the DJ, you are the authority of the music. So really important to keep in mind. If you like this video, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave me some feedback. What do you think? Is there any particular artists you want me to take a look at to comment on some of their music as they go? And for now, this has been Robert with LearningTodj.com. You are learning the art and skill of musical influence. We'll catch you next time.